Test, test. Test, test. Test, 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 test. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you live here to Pope Francis Preparatory School in Springfield, Mass., where it is the number 2 seed of the Western Mass Class A bracket against the number 7 seed Westfield High Bombers. I'm Don Percy here, and for a special occasion here, we have special guests up here in the box. Most notably, last night off of a big 2-1 win versus South Hadley, none other than sophomore goaltender Max Graham. Max, how you doing in the house?
Doing very good. Very excited to be here. Watch some good soccer today. Yeah.
Very, very well. Here we go. So, as we said, a little bit of an odd scenario here. Really a good scenario, though. Max Graham in the house with us here. Could give us a little bit of some rundown here on goaltender Eden Kornacki on some of the situations that we could see here that she could be facing tonight here. But as we said before, number 2, Pope Francis Cardinals of the Western Mass Class A bracket. Number 7, Westfield High Bombers. These two teams would go head-to-head earlier on. Most notably, it was the first game of the season, and a big 2-1 win for Pope Francis. And ever since then, they would play again at Westfield, and they would take a 4-2 win over the Bombers. However, though, Pope, while they have held a really, really good spot here in the D3 rankings at a number 5 spot with 6-2-7 on the reason,
Getting in there.
as a shot there by Peyton Beedling was a easy save made by junior goaltender Olivia Morrissey. I think something that we really don't go over enough. I mean, really, if you could hear myself up in the box here, Max to the side of me. The one thing that I say like really, really well, especially that you do here up in the box, is your home field, really your save percentage. It's really, really. I can't say it any better. Really good. To put it in short terms here. And I think that's something, because you've had a little bit of experience here as a goaltender with some playing games postseason and in season at an away field. So can I ask you one thing? Really, any like superstitions that we have going on here, like a breathing method or anything, especially to keep calm in these games, especially when away game, home or the home crowd for the other team might be against you. Any like little superstitions that we got going here?
Number one star is, we just gotta pray. Always praying, as soon as I walk in the field, before I even step on the front of the field, say a little St. Michael the Archangel prayer. Pray with some of the teammates in the chop before the game, a little decade. But just gotta trust in God and trust everything. And honestly, like, people rile me up or people try to get in my head, that like fuels the fire a little bit. And I think it's funny. I love it. I get it. I've been in student sections before. I've chanted against other kids, but it's just nothing better than feeling that, and winning especially, nothing better than that.
Well said, definitely indeed there. It's a battle of the goaltenders. That's what we saw as a long-distance shot here. Morrissey with a save made there. I believe it was a long-distance shot by Turmel. But, Milo Dillard corrected up here in the box. Goaltender Max Bream always on the field. Eyes on the field all the time.
A little question about Milo Dillard even playing today. I thought she was going to play.
We did hear that. We didn't know if Milo Dillard would be playing for this game at all, but she is here and she is playing here. So certainly a good thing, setting the tone here for the Western Mass quarterfinal, the opening round. Question this year, as we said, I know I said it was the three-peat, last game. I was mistaken. The four-peat here. 4 years in a row, the first team in Pope history to do it. Is really the Western Mass, the Class A, is it possible here? As we see here.
Nice little free kick coming in for Cardinals. Maybe just took a little beat in there, but she's ready to.
So as we said before here, those you that may be just tuning in, Pope, solid start after the season. 6-2-7. Unfortunately, though, Westfield has not had it going their way all season. Yet to register a win throughout the regular season. 0-12-3. Things may turn out different here. Single elimination. But right now, Maeve Turmel up at the 10-yard line for a free kick. Turmel looking to go top right corner. Essentially just a little bit wide of the net so far, though. But as we said, 0-12-3. Not the best start off to the season here. Fortunately for them, though, qualifying for the Western Mass tournament for the Class A rankings. And I couldn't think of anything better, is because what this game could come down to especially is you get into single elimination games. Who has the most heart here out on the field and who wants it more? You could have a really, really bad record going all season. You could have one of the best, the undefeated record going through the season. But from what we have seen in the past, bracket upsets have been all over the place, especially across multiple sports, heading from last winter. I remember St. John's Prep on a game versus, if I'm correct, Arlington. I believe that was one of the big quarterfinal games with Pope and Zavarian. But SJP falling in overtime to Arlington. So, I mean, that was a huge upset across the board here. As we said, though, upsets are well in play here, especially with the bracket. Just giving you guys a little bit of a rundown. Pope Westfield will be one of 4 games played. A little bit of an odd scenario that we have here. Whether it was a 2-2 games, like Wednesday night, 2 games for the boys, and the final 2 games here. So the semifinal round will be set by tonight. All 4 games, however, are being played today. So we have Longmeadow versus Agawam, the 1 versus the 8 seed. Minnechaug versus Northampton, the 4 versus the 5 seed. And East Longmeadow versus West Springfield, the 3 versus the 6 seed, which will be whoever the winner of the Pope Westfield game. As here along the far side, Eden Kornacki with her first save of the night here on a shot by Ella Golick.
Yeah, just recap what you just said. I mean, I think it was one of the seniors last year, Owen Trammell, you know, little sisters, Claire Trammell and Maeve Trammell. Sorry, I don't know how I forgot that too. Just a captain, can't forget that. He said, no, the game, especially in playoffs, you can get in the record and you can be in the normal season. Your record can be amazing, but in playoffs, it's all about passion. You know, you can get a senior on the bench, hasn't played all year, and he gets out on the field and he scores 3 goals just because he doesn't want this to be his last game, you know. I think we could see that out of Westfield tonight, but I really think Pope is going to come into this a little chip on their shoulder. Know they can beat these guys, but hopefully they can do it.
I was going to say a little bit of a reference to the 3 goals. Not necessarily 3 goals here, but I will give a little bit of a flashback and a little bit of a mention to one of the Pope's past seniors here. Though Eric Liu, we did see him. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend that game as we saw Eric Liu, senior night, shot from, I believe it was the 30-yard line. Might have been one of the highlight reel goals of the season versus Belchertown, as he would help them in that senior night victory. I mean, man, we talk about seniors that maybe haven't played the most along the season, but, I mean, man, what can I say? Guy, he had the opportunity, he took it, he got control of it, and he made it count, though, especially on senior night last year versus Belchertown for the boys. So I'll give a little bit of a shout-out to him if he's watching over the air so far. As this ball is sent out of play here. So Westfield, so chances going back and forth both ways here so far. Pope right now majority favoring the O-zone here. We did see that good rush, though, up the close side by Ella Golick, as she was able to really speed all the way around the defenseman, all the way to the 10-yard line. Max Gray off to the side was thinking that, surely enough, it would be offsides, but one official thought otherwise here, especially. As Ali Soja along the far side of the field sends the ball out of play here, has nearly 10 minutes gone by here. Student section slowly filing in here, as we are about 10 minutes into gameplay so far. So opening round for Western Mass here. If we have a semifinal game, I believe that game should be set for the weekend. Unsure if I myself will be here and the camera crew, so we do apologize for that. But we are doing our best. We're bringing you live coverage right now. Quarterfinals. Winner of this game right now, Pope Westfield, as we said, to take on East Long Meadow versus West Springfield here. Ali Soja along the close side, trying to look for an inside lane, has Mila Dillard cutting to the middle of the nets here. I think especially a couple of key standouts here, especially on this Pope Francis team here. Mila Dillard, 15 points on the season, committed to the University of Kentucky. Maeve Trammell committed to Stone Hill College, 12 points on the season. I think regardless, though, of the 7 ties that have racked up along this season, it really has come down. They have fought for this number 5 position here very, very well. Unfortunately, they did play one of the top 5 teams at the time when they were outside the 5 rankings. Nepomuc Regional, unfortunately, a 3-0 loss. There's a deflection out in front. It was looking for Chelsea Brennan to head in the rebound. But we said Pope Francis versus Nepomuc Regional. Unfortunate 3-0 loss there. That, however, middle of the season, teams still getting to know each other, still trying to build a relationship with everything. I think we very well could see this Cardinal team get past 4-peat for Western Mass, if not head deep into the state tournament here. As an enemy all well known is the Norwell Clippers here. For the past 2 years here, boys team and girls team knocked out in the quarterfinal rounds here. I mean, that was just the furthest year that you guys had last year here. Norwell Clippers, it was a 1-0 game. You were in net for that game. No doubt about it. It was an unfortunate outcome here for that game. But I do have to ask here, one of the hardest shots, because I remember that shot came from, I believe it was the close side corner here. The bodies in front of the net crashing that. Basically, how is that one of the harder shots, especially to stop? Because, I mean, you yourself, I forget who the Norwell goaltender was, but, I mean, it was just exceptional game played both ways, and it came down to who could capitalize on the little errors of that game, and that's what won it. It was the last 20 minutes, I remember, the goal was scored, but that's one of the harder shots to stop, I would imagine, certainly, here, as, I mean, I don't know, we saw it was Noah Carillon yesterday for South Hadley, especially.
Probably at 25 saves. He played a hell of a game.
I mean, it was really, both ways here. The goaltenders both ways here. There's nothing. And like we said before, you get a team that maybe they haven't had the best record here. As a header here from Lila Rosati, well, easily scooped up by Morrissey. But as we said, though, you get a team that maybe hasn't had the best record here. But especially towards the last 5 minutes of that game, I don't know what was going through your mind, but I was starting to think, I'm like, wow, South Hadley's really started to put this pressure on. And I want to get your opinion, though, because I've really never seen this play happen. Carillon being pulled in the final 5 minutes up at the 10-yard line. What was going through your mind with that play?
My only thing was I didn't want to be put Mass Live to that night. I mean, I really didn't want the goalie scoring on me. I didn't want anybody scoring. I wanted to win that game. I wanted to secure it. You know, everyone's smack talking. They were spitting on us. You know, parents talking to parents. You know, that was just a brutal game to win. I think we can hold our own. We were definitely more classy of a team. I think I'm really proud of the boys for not going at them. You know, I'm sure a couple of them could have really did some damage to them, but you know, we really kept our own. Great goals by Andrew and Carlos. Yeah, very good goals. Yeah. I think it was just well-rounded played.
I mean, very, very well said. I mean, really, you got 2 goaltenders, as we said here. I mean, Carillon, it was in his last game. Dillard shot long-distance shot here. Good save by Morrissey. 4-1 shots on goal in favor of Pope Francis right now, 13 minutes into the game, but still sitting at goose eggs both ways, 0-0. But like we said, a senior in net. All he's got to do is he's got to really want it, and that's what Pope was up against last night here. And, I mean, if you could really create like an all-star team here for Western Mass, like take it to a postseason game, maybe against like one of the top Division I teams. Like you talk about maybe playing like a team from around here, like Long Meadow, getting a scrimmage against Long Meadow, or getting a scrimmage against maybe St. John's Prep, one of the top teams. If you really could put an all-star team together, and I think if you took a senior, for instance, not saying that Carillon did not see any playing time, starting goaltender for South Hadley, amazing season that he had as well here. But, I mean, you could really put together a solid team here. And especially you'd have that senior that, hey, maybe he hasn't played, but he'll just be the right fit for the team. And I think you could definitely knock off one of these top teams if you had a team like that. Especially here. But going back, we talk about, like, soccer goalies. I think average save, I actually had to look it up. Average save percentage, I believe, was somewhere between 750 and pretty sure 800. About that 80% save percentage on the highest round. I believe when I did the calculations, your save percentage, though, was around 86% to a 90% here with at home field. So, I mean, hoping to see the same thing out of goaltender Eden Kornacki, especially tonight here. She's done a good job, 1-for-1 on the save so far. But, I mean, like you said also, Carillon, 25 shots that he faced, really good. Really square the ball, very few minimal mistakes here. I believe, do you have your opponent set for no, you do not have your opponent set for the next game yet here. I believe you will have home field advantage, though. So what can we expect out of the boys heading into that game?
Just passion. I can't confirm, starting lineup's going to be, can't do anything like that, but I can assure you, anybody that's going to go in is going to work their tails off. No one, especially in the postseason, is going to go in and just, not do a half-ass job. They're gonna go in and they're gonna want to win. Sorry for that.
All good here. As Kornacki's second save on the night so far, so still Westfield getting their opportunities here, and especially we saw last 5 minutes of the game here. I believe it was a really good shot. The one shot, I don't mean to pick on you that much. The one shot that did beat goaltender Max Graham. The shot it was from Anthony Adams. It was a really good shot, a beaming of a shot. Dillard, though, down on the play, trying to make something happen there. So as we also said, though, here, it was a beaming shot. It was a beaming shot here coming from the 20-yard line. You couldn't put anybody in the last 5 minutes. It was unfortunately too little, too late, but they did certainly have it there in the last couple of minutes. Kornacki shot all the way up to the 35-yard line. And pass off for Chelsea Brennan. Back for Ali Soja. Soja looking to work along the close side of the field, though. Westfield trying to work it back up field. Trying to get over to the Maeve Termel. There's a break here. Madeline Santinello along the close side. Trying to center the pass. Makes a move on Peyton Beedling. Ramirez, she shoots, she scores! Santinello lights the lamp here for the Bombers. 16-14 into the opening half, and Westfield has come into Pope Francis and started the scoring off here. 1-0. I mean, and we thought this game, we thought Pope had this in the bag here. They had the pressure going all night long so far here. I mean, still plenty of game to be played left, but 17 minutes in, I mean, it's Westfield, though, with the opening goal. I mean, can't do much there. Defenseman getting burned by Santinello. Good heads-up play here, shooting a really risky shot, though. Short side play. I mean, you couldn't have asked for much more of an individual effort there from her, certainly. So Westfield with the 1-0 lead so far here. The number 5 team in the Division III rankings, though. Looking to continue on their streak. Dillard, good move to the middle. Fires a shot off here. Sails just wide of the net. all the way out to get it now. It's easily scooped up, though, here on the play. As Santinello again along the close side here, looking to burn by the defenders. Tried to get the centering pass off Sophie Samard, though. Good block here in the defensive zone. Pope, though, scrambling here in their own D zone here. Opening round, trying not to let the playoff jitters get to them here, as we very well do not want to see an upset here. And the thing especially here, win, move on, lose, go home. Pope, we said before, number 5 spot in the D3 rankings, would more than likely fall a couple of spots if they lost early on in this round here. Westfield, though, looking to be the big underdog of this story here, though. The number 7 seed, Bombers, versus the number 2 seed, Cardinals. As set to take the corner kick here is Meredith Collini, as this shot was blocked and sent out of bounds. So goaltender Eden Kornacki will take this out of her own goaltending box right now. We're going to get some sustained offensive pressure going upfield as we're about halfway through the opening half here. Under the lights now. I will say another thing that I will have to include here. Personal preference and opinion here. Under the lights for a home game or a little earlier on in the afternoon here for a goaltender.
Are you kidding me? A night game. I mean,
Night game under the lights.
just like pressure's on, that's the place to be. Student section usually gets out. It's a little cold, a little chilly. This is the perfect time to play. Honestly, it is. Long sleeves all around.
So just about 20 minutes gone by here, as we said. Throw in Westfield, though, still with the good sustained pressure here. Pope struggling in their own D zone, to say the least here. So as we look at Pope's season, though, that they have had here, most recently a 2-2 tie against Belchertown and Longmeadow, as they have yet to come out with a win since September 30th. So almost a month between their last win. Up to that point, with a 3-0, or rather a 6-0-3 record here. So those losses just getting picked up against what was at the time the number 5 team, Nepomuc Regional, and what was a trip to New Jersey versus Immaculate Heart Academy, a 2-1 loss there. As Ramirez trying to block the shot, sent into the zone. Rosati trying to get some sustained pressure going forward. Westfield breaks out of the zone, though. Looking for rush man up forward is Ella Golick. Kornacki will scoop that one up, though, for her 3rd save of the night. So far, shots on goal are in favor of Pope Francis. 6-4. Cardinals so far under 20 to play. Lights out here. It's about 6 p.m. in the Eastern time. For those of you tuning in from home. Here, student section still filing in. Ella Golick, though, hot on her horse, trying to make a play here and get the ball to the middle. Or do we send out of bounds? So as we said here, Pope, most notably, off of 4 ties and 2 losses in their last 6 games. Not the ideal record here, as that has shaped up most of their record so far. Westfield, though, on the other hand, off of a 2-2 tie to Ludlow and a 3-2 loss to Belchertown here. Winless throughout the season, though. As we said, all that has gone by. All that matters now is, do we see a big underdog story here? Leading 1-0, 20 minutes into the first half. Bombers up 1-0, courtesy of Madeline Santinello. Here, looking for their first win of the season. And my, oh my, would this be a big upset that we would have on our hands here. But I think if you're Coach Dillard, you might have to say, hey, we got to take our time out here. We got to settle things down. We got to regroup here. We're down 1-0. Ideally, you got to stand from my ideal standpoint. Maybe not try to get the lead. Rather tie things up this quarter. Start focusing in and dialing in on what you can work on in the second quarter. But right now, you start off with goal number 1. I think that's the big thing that you got to look at, as Meredith Collini looking for Eden Kornacki here for her save. As Kornacki got a piece of it, but it'll deflect off the crossbar here. As a good save made by Kornacki. 4 saves on the night so far here. at about the 18-minute mark. So as we said, Westfield, though, storming into Pope here. The big underdog of the night, as they have possession right now, currently in the ozone. And we've seen here the past 10 minutes. It's really been Westfield trying to turn things around. Corner kick here out to the middle. Kornacki missed the initial rebound, though. Bodies flying all over middle of the goal mound. Oh, Cardinals looking to clear it. Shabelli upfield. Finds Ryan Washevitz. Washevitz, though, with a burst of speed here along the short side. Washevitz cuts inside. Looking to go all the way. Tripped on the play. I believe this should be a penalty kick.
No, it's not penalty. It's got to be red card, though.
As a fan's getting into it now, too, as well. Red card here, looking for the fans to get the call here.
Hey, the freshman has a hell of a play. I really think it is, but I mean, through on goal, probably. Would she have scored it? I mean, maybe. I think she probably could have scored it.
I really think it's a quality scoring opportunity right there. If it's not a penalty shot, I mean, though the officials say otherwise here, as we have Trammell right now at the 15-yard line set for a free kick. So Trammell's opportunity, looking to put Pope at a 1-1. Santinello opening goal. Trammell low shot block, picks up the rebound. Shot again blocked here.
Yeah, we got penalty kick.
As we got a penalty kick now here. So Trammell unable to get the initial 2 shots here though. Back up at the 10-yard line, or rather the 12-yard line here. Hearing it from Max Graham up here in the box, he goes, "Hey man, just be a little more specific. Just be a little more specific up here in the box, 6 yards, and really try to sell me out here." But no, Trammell, though, at the 12-yard line for the equalizer here. Maeve Trammell lights the lamp here. Cardinals 1, Bombers 1. $16:49 left in the first half here. Trammell ties us at 1 here. I mean, really, it was a well-effort play. A really, really well effort here. I mean, and this play all starts, though. It's right at the... Actually, wait. No, way back in the Pope D zone here. Freshman Rylan Washevitz taking it all the way upfield, cut to the middle, and she gets the job done here. As Pope Francis 1-1 now, as we are set back for play here. So Pope Francis equalizer, though. Big here for them. Under 20 minutes left in the opening half. So 1-1 here. Santinello, Trammell. Goal apiece here. As we are dead even, though. I mean, though, that was the answer that Pope needed all along here. They had the pressure going here 10 minutes into the game here. And then really, they hit really a fork in the road here. As Westfield, though, storming back and opening the goal. Santinello, really, really good individual effort. Though, Pope Francis back in it, though, at a 1-1 game here. Under 16 to play in the opening half here. But still, very, very close game here for the 2 and the 7 seed here. As we said before, those of you that may not have tuned into the game, I believe we are set to play 1, if not 2 overtimes, as it could take 10 minutes here for first overtime, and I believe maybe 5 minutes for the second overtime. And after that, we will see a penalty kick shootout as Dillard here, with a little shake and bake on the close side here, trying to get the play over to the middle. Look for Maeve Trammell. Shabelli, though, back at the 50-yard line. Looking upfield here. Has a little bit of time and room. Passes it off for Ella Brasilarchi. Trammell, though, picks off the pass. Got deflected up into play. Price trying to get out of the zone for the Bombers. Dillard, though, with the header back into the zone. Looked like it could have been a handball there, though, by Santinello. Though Westfield regroup with it. Grabowski trying to work it along the far side of the field. Leave it over for Lily Clark. As Bombers are going to come back the other way. Santinello with a burst of speed. Trying to find Headman up. Ella Golick upfield. No one there, though. As play is stopped. I believe this will be called offsides. Goaltender, man. Nah, I mean, you have really seen... We have experience here. Especially, and I'm going to compliment you on this from a really skilled goaltender here, especially at Poe Francis. Big shoes to fill that you had, especially Sam Graham the year before that you got here. It's a really, really big shoes to fill here, and especially you got 2 bright years ahead of you here in this program here. So, I mean, a little bit of irritation maybe, especially when calls not going your way here. Maybe especially with the offsides here. I mean, is that something that you face here on, I'd say, on a daily basis or a game basis?
I mean, I'd be the first one to say I don't always complete with the refs. I don't always agree with the refs, but, they're doing the best they can. I feel kind of bad sometimes, but, sometimes there's just obvious calls and just don't get called. But, they try to do the best they can all the time, try to keep it fair. But, yeah, I mean, I just want to say real quickly, I'm pretty good, but I think my defense is a lot better. I love my defense. I love Fitz, Evan. I love Dante. I love Andrew. Love those guys. They die for me, and I die for them. It's just a great team camaraderie. I love those guys. Yeah.
A family relationship we love to see here, though. Team chemistry, brothers for life, especially up here. Though, as under 13 to play now. Dillard with the throw-in, looking upfield. A little fake there by Chelsea Brennan, trying to leave the pass off for Dillard, though, sent out of the zone. Here's Pope Francis back in the offensive zone here, as we've seen so far. So both goaltenders have let one go by. Shots on goal 7-5 in favor of Westfield. Has along the close side here. Going to get the throw-in is Haley Jodis. Pope Francis, though, working it back in their own D zone. Plenty of time and space here. It's about 12 minutes remaining in the opening half. They'll play it back for Kornacki. Kornacki, the field for Shabelli. Westfield looking to get something going back. Golick. I don't do anything there. Brennan, though. I mean, really standing there, but covering her man, though, for Westfield, certainly. Dillard, though, trying to make a play to the middle. Cuts all the way. Fake shot there. She looks upfield for Brassalarchi. The play was picked off, though, by Rylan Levesque. As this is offsides here. Under 12 to play, though, so far. 1-1. Termel with the equalizer and Santinello with the opening goal here. I mean, what you asked for, Pope, what we said here, especially prior to the goal getting scored here, down 1-0, we said, hey, you got to calm down here. You got to start, take a breather. And you got to start locking in here, especially with, we saw we've seen really good individual efforts both ways, though, here. And I think, though, what it's going to come down to, though, is, like we said before, the want is going to play a key factor in this. Seeding means absolutely nothing. I believe this was last year. I don't know how much you pay attention to the brackets, especially not in the, I believe the D3 is what, unfortunately falling in the quarterfinal, though. But I believe this was last year, though. It was one of the longer shots here of the tournament. It wasn't SJP. It wasn't Long Meadow all the way out in front of the Division I bracket. It wasn't SJP. It wasn't BC High. It wasn't Zavarian. It was the number 31 team. I do not remember who. Do you remember by any chance? Unfortunately, I don't remember who the team was. However, though, going to show ranking means absolutely nothing here. Knocking off, I believe it was 3 top 10 teams in order to get, to 3 top 10 teams in the state here, just to get all the way to the finals. And they capitalized on the moment. They said, we came this far. We're not going home empty-handed. I believe that game would end up being, I believe it was like the 31 versus the 4 seed for the state tournament final. So a big dark horse run there. I mean, we've seen dark horse runs here, especially in the playoffs here. It was 2 years ago as St. John's Prep here in the Division I state championship game here. And then it was we said it was a Cinderella run. Winchester, the number 11 seed, no one expected them heading into the game here. Really, it's supposed to fight up against St. John's Prep though they did. I believe they would take them all the way to the final buzzer, and that's where the controversial goal came in here, whether it beat the clock or not. I'm not going to give my biased opinion on it, though. SJP would get the state championship with a 3-2 win, but I believe they will be installing video review, though, thankfully, for the state championship games here. Those are set for TD Garden here. I believe this if a state championship game will be set for Gillette, if I'm correct here. I believe Gillette for boys and girls soccer. If not, maybe UMass. Maybe we don't have to do a little bit of traveling. Hopefully that would be good for us. As we see postseason here, though it's all the way down the other end of the state. Usually half the time. I remember I had the other cameraman up here in the box, Lucas Cousin. Poor guy. He went to Norwell, I believe it was last year for the girls soccer game. Unfortunately, they would fall 3-0 in that game here. Quarterfinal game though, but a one-man crew here setting up the camera, recording the game. So kudos to him. Here is under 8:30 now remaining in the opening half here. Santinello looking for 2 shots sent off the outside of the net. We played out of harm's way here. So 1-1 so far. Pope, really good ozone time here. Start off. Westfield had to bite back. They got the opening goal. And then Pope said, "Nuh-uh, not today." It's a good individual effort upfield. Chelsea Brennan, Rylan Wishevitz, and Maeve Trammell would bury home the rebound. Actually, rather the penalty shot here. The initial 2 shots would not go. Mila Dillard, though, looking to make a play to the middle. This is upfield for Rylan Wishevitz. Wishevitz has Dillard middle. Wishevitz, though, looking to fire a long-distance shot off. Looking for Rosati all the way down the field. Here, though, so, like we said before, Westfield looking for their opening win of the season. A rare occurrence that we have seen here, and especially with an 0-12-3 record. Didn't think not only that they would make the Western Mass Class A tournament, but that they would hold a spot higher than the last seed here. But nonetheless, they are here, though, and they're certainly making a name for themselves here with a 1-1 game so far here. So currently leading the D3 standings right now, Medfield, as Peyton Beedling will have to play us back for goaltender Eden Kornacki. Yeah, as we said, goaltender, or I apologize. Max Graham up here in the box. Little bit of play going back to Eden Kornacki there.
I think Eden did a very good job. I think that was a well goal. Was it the freshman? Was the freshman still on?
Yes.
I mean, freshman Western Mass quarterfinals, their first Western Mass quarterfinals, slotted it. You know, a lot of players, freshmen, they get a little jittery, they'll shoot it right at the goalie. I love those saves, but slotting it bottom right corner, close post. I mean, this is a good goal. I think Pope definitely is trying to regain some ground here, definitely regain some more confidence, but we're gonna see it's gonna be a dogfight.
And something I will point out too as well is that I do notice about the way that you play, and I think this is what I found so interesting about last night with you and Noah Carillon, is that this was a battle, and as we saw here towards the end here, as Dillard will get the corner shot here, looking to find Trammell middle. But as we said, it was an interesting battle because if you don't mind me saying, you do tend to play a little bit on the aggressive side, the really, really aggressive side, all the way out to the 10-yard line. And I think it was very interesting because what was going to happen was who could capitalize on those little mistakes here. The little mistakes, the hesitations on whether the goaltender would go all the way out or not. And that was really, I think, too evenly, I don't want to say evenly matched, but what I do want to say, evenly attitude. Their attitude towards playing the game here, aggressive goaltenders going both ways. And I think that's something that definitely gave Pope a little bit of a surprise here, especially at home field. But coming out with the win, though, what more can we ask here? Can't ask for much more here. As I believe you guys are set to play Saturday. We said opponent is unsure of so far, though, as we near the 5-minute mark here, the opening half. But nonetheless, though, good saves all around. Shots on goal still 7-5 in favor of Pope Francis. This ball was sent out along the far side of the field. Final 5 minutes now remaining here in the opening half of play. So leading the D3 holes here. Medfield with a 14-1-0 record. And right behind them, Nepomuc Regional, who Pope would play about middle of the season. Took a 3-0 loss to them. Looking to turn things around, though, certainly. with a 14-0-1 record. So undefeated throughout their season. And then right behind them is none other than the Norwell Clippers here that Pope, fortunately, 3 for 3 on falling to them in the postseason so far as a shot there over the middle. Pope looking to regain possession, though. But 3 out of 3 times. Unfortunate event there, though. Is this year, though? Is this their year? That is the big question that we have here, though. Pope, all this talent here on this team. The 1-1 they sit at so far, but looking to make it deep into the Western Mass and the state bracket as Dillard fired a shot, and she scores! Mila Dillard, long distance shot here from the 25-yard line, and it goes in. So with a 2-1 lead here, Pope Francis now as 36:02 into the game. Pope dialing things in now here. 2-1 they lead here. I mean, I was expecting just to come out of this at halftime with really just a tie here. Not even let alone have the lead here. But Pope has certainly turned things around here as Westfield, though, has to get back in their game if they want any chance. We saw them. They took over that. Really, it was between the 30-minute and the 20-minute mark. They really took things over here and had the momentum swinging their way. But ever since then, Pope has said otherwise. $13:20 remaining in regulation. Westfield, though, looking to get back into it, tie the game up, maybe. Before, as we said, I mean, yesterday we said 2 goals here, the opening tying goal. Santinello, though, shot blocked there by Termel. Pope putting their body on the line here in their own D zone. But 2 goals scored within a minute, though. I mean, yesterday we saw against South Hadley. And that put the Tigers right back in the game. Definitely had Pope on their toes a little bit. But they would shut them out, though, the rest of the game. As Peyton Beedling will send this off for Maeve Termel, who will take this out of Kornacki's goal mound. So under 3 now remaining in the opening half. Pope, 2-1 lead so far. Termel, kick at the 5-yard line, looking to get it upfield with the 40. Dillard, though, with a burst of speed. Already 1 under her belt tonight, looking to add on to it. 9 goals on the season so far. Termel, Washevitz, and Dillard. All goal leaders here. Dillard with 9. Washevitz with 8, and Termel with 8 as well. As Olivia Morrissey will cover this ball up for her 7th save of the night. So 9-5 shots on goal in favor of Pope Francis. 2 have gone past Morrissey, 1 past Kornacki, as we enter the final 2 minutes of the opening half here. So we are now on officials' time. So as we said, if overtime is necessary, I believe it'll be an opening 10-minute OT and then possibly a 5-minute double overtime before we head into what could be, if there's a tie at the end, penalty kick rounds. I mean, we have not seen that yet so far. Certainly hope it doesn't get to that point, but it would be a really exciting point here going back and forth both ways. As Westfield, though, looking to get things back into their zone. Santinello. Santinello shot there, though, along the side. I think a good thing to point out here was goaltender Max Graham. Backup goaltender here off to the side, Kaylin Carrera, getting warmed up off along the sidelines here. So could we see a goaltending sub for the Bombers here come the second half of the game? Very, very much possible, though. A lot of game to be played, though.
I think it's a great opportunity for the backup, but I think the start goalie hasn't made a lot of mistakes. Maybe made 1 mistake. I think there's 2 penalty kick. Not gonna save those. I mean, those are the little percent chance, like 90% chance it goes in, 99. Even if you dive the right way, I think she did a fantastic job. Is doing a fantastic job tonight. I think this backup goalie could do something. I think she can. It's a new face, new team. I don't know, but playoffs. She has made a lot of mistakes. I don't know if that's the play. no disrespect to the backup goalie on Westfield. I think she could be really good. But I mean, I don't know. I'd be pretty mad if I was the goalie and they started warming up the backup after one mistake. But hey, I'm not the coach. No, maybe Westfield sees something I don't. And there's half.
Thank you, Max Grimm. So we head into the halftime. Pope Francis up 2-1 here at the halftime. So we will return here for the start of the second half. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, live on Pope Prep. And we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, here. Second half underway here. Max Graham, unfortunately, not in the box with anymore, but great commentator, great side-by-side host here that we had here as Dillard starting it off strong for the Cardinals. And watching, I will say, watching from home, I'll give him a shout-out all the way from Georgia. Those of you may remember him from last year on the boys soccer team, Joao Souza. Watching at home, I know he is right now in the comments section as well. Caleb, we love him. We miss him. Wishing you could come back here certainly as well. Too, I'll give him a shout out. He texted me. He goes, hey, number 31 team, not to make you look like a fool. It's Newton. Just thought I'd point that out to you. So, no one said I'm perfect, though. It will help every here and there. It doesn't hurt. So, appreciate it for Joao out there. I know you're watching. Thank you very much, sir. It's the opening minute in a play here. Oh, Cardinals trying to get things going back the other way here, though. It's trying to maintain this 2-1 lead here is a big thing that they had going for them. A lot of sustained pressure going their way. And we saw it was Westfield's goaltender, the backup goaltender, getting warmed up off to the sides, as I do believe she is in net right now. So Olivia Morrissey on the sidelines for the Bombers. And Kaylin Carrera has been put in the game for the Bombers here. So goaltending sub here for Westfield. As Westfield, though, struggling to get out of their own zone. Dillard picks up the pass, though. Mila Dillard with a good takeaway. Dillard shot save made by Carrera. First tested here for Carrera. First save, first shot. So shots on goal total right now, 10-5 in favor of the Cardinals. As Madeline Santinello, ball upended there, though, in the middle. It'll be taken out of bounds, though. Going to work it back up the far side of the field. Pass picked off, though, by not Maeve Terrell, Christina Price. Got the wrong roster here in front of me. Though, so taking a look at the power rankings so far. Couple of Western Mass teams here in the top 15. Belchertown holding number 9 spot. Pope Francis, though, right now, currently the highest in the D3 rankings. And then not far behind Ludlow at the number 11 seed with a 10-3-3 record. Belchertown with a 6-6-4 record, and Pope with a 6-2-7 record. So far as we sit here for tonight. Win, move on, lose, and go home here. Season that could very well end for Westfield and Pope. Hopes of making the state tournament still, or actually, I should say, hopes of winning a state championship still alive. Coming oh so close in these past couple of years, but nothing to prove it for so far here. As Western Mass, 4-peat on the line here for Pope Francis. Looking to make it 2 for the Class A back-to-back years. Rosati, though, ball taken away. Picks up the rebound, though. Trying to get the ball stripped from defenseman Gianna Belvacqua. As this ball will be sent out of play here. As Rosati and Caprina French off to the side, just bumping into each other. This ball is headed back out of play again by Gianna Belvacqua. We're 4 minutes into the second half. This ball almost stolen away there, though, by Ryan Wishevitz. Here now Johnson will send it back into the Westfield D zone. Dillard, though, looking to pick the ball back up. I believe offsides, though, here. By the official. 5 minutes into the second half here. So the Pope game would be the second game to take place tonight so far. The remaining, actually 3 current games underway, though. As Longmeadow versus Agawam, that game should have come to a close by now here. Unsure of a result that we have, though, so far for the Class A bracket. So again, as we look here, Pope, number 5 seed in the D3 bracket. Right now, 2 seed in the Western Mass Class A bracket. Big opponent here, though, that has hold the number 1 seed, Longmeadow High School in the Class A bracket. Pope going up against Longmeadow this year so far, 2 ties. So very, very evenly matched opponents here. A 1-1 tie at Longmeadow, and most recently on senior night, a 2-2 tie here versus the Lancers. As very well we could see what happens to be a postseason matchup between many, many opponents that Pope has tied here. As they hold on to this game, possibly the winner of the East Longmeadow West Side game. So Pope is taking a 2-1, or rather, no. Sorry, I was looking at the Westfield record season so far. East Longmeadow, though, has played Pope Francis so far, 2 ties. So the bracket for Class A filled up with many, many tough opponents here. Pope, a 2-2 tie and a 3-3 tie versus the Spartans so far. Have not played the West Side Terriers, though. If we would see a semifinal matchup here, that would be an upset on the East Longmeadow side of the bracket. I was able to come out with a victory here, though. Samard looking to clear it back upfield. Pass in for Washevitz. Dillard, though, heads up play here and an aerial pass for Washevitz. Heads it down, looking to keep possession here along the close side of the field. Pass there, though, blocked by Meredith Collini. As this ball will be sent back out of bounds. So picked up in the goal mound by Meredith Collini. Only 1 shot on goal so far in what could be this opening 10 minutes here. Westfield, though, has to find some spark here in their game if they want any chance at tying this game at 2-2 apiece, maybe forcing overtime, maybe putting it into penalty kick shootout. Here, though, as I not hoping for it, but certainly what would be a very entertaining here, high energetic going here, as Santinello, good individual effort here, knocks down Samar on the play. Santinello, though, picks the ball back up. Gonna take her time here in the offensive zone, passes off for Christina Price, sets it back along the far side for Riley Pryor. Pryor, the senior captain on this team here for the Bombers. Pope Francis, 2 captains, though, so far. Mila Dillard and Maeve Trammell, the senior and the junior for the Cardinals here. As Pope, the Bombers looking to get something going back upfield. Peyton Beedling putting the ball back in play before it is sent out of bounds. Throwing here back for Beedling. Going to keep it back in the zone. Trying to turn it the other way. Chelsea Brennan. Brennan's pass sent up along the far side. Hannah Johnson. Big step up there, though, in the middle. Back for Chelsea Brennan. Brennan, pass off to the middle. Trying to leave it for Ramirez, though. Before this ball was sent back out of play. Samard is the ball off for Rylan Washevitz. Washevitz back for Shabelli, looking upfield for Rosati. Where the ball is sent back out of bounds again. As we have subs coming onto the field here. Ella Bressalarchi heading into the game for Ali Soja. Throw in here for Bressalarchi. Looking upfield. Trying to find Washevitz. We're going to send right back out of play here. 10 minutes gone by in the opening, or rather in the second half here so far. Shabelli passing up, though, looking for Washevitz. Washevitz with a burst of speed. Trying to cut to the net. Shot, she scores! What a play there! It's Rylan Washevitz, though, to put Pope up 2 goals here. 10:21 into the second. And Washevitz adds to the Pope Francis lead here. As Westfield, the chance of coming back here looking very, very slim here. As we are now in the second half. I mean, it really would take a miracle here. And if you're Westfield's coach, you might be thinking, we might have no other choice here but to use our timeout and get things back going again. As the second shot faced by Carrera, 1 in, 1 save here. As we're at a 3-1 game here for the Cardinals. Ball sent back out of play here. Though Westfield looking to regain some ozone time here. Samard will get the throw in. The 28:30 mark here left in the second half. Samard throw in for Dillard. Dillard looking to turn things around here for the Cardinals. Dillard trying to make a play to the middle. Had a little bit of an opportunity opening space there. Francis Borgatti, though, sends the ball back out of harm's way. Turmello redirected this one out of the sidelines. Ball thrown back into play here. Christiana Price. Send the ball back into play. Hit it before it's headed out of the zone by Kendall O'Brien. Thrown back in. Ella Brasilarci looking upfield for Rylan Washevitz. Washevitz over for Brasilarci before the ball is sent back out of bounds. So Dillard, or rather, no, Brasilarci will get the throw in here. So Pope up 2 goals here. We saw them, though, playing Westfield earlier on in the season with a 4-2 win over Westfield most recently, about a month ago. And also with a 2-1 win here at the opening family night here. As Brasilarci, slide tackle there. As Westfield looking to get something back going here. Santinello going to fire home a rebound shot. Santinello, though, bursts of speed here. Kornacki, though, with the save. Shots on goal. Right now, 12-6 in favor of the Cardinals. As we stand here, 3-1 the score. Pope Francis leads. For those of you just tuning in, we had Max Graham up here in the box, giving us a little bit of some experience, some real game scenarios here. Starting boys goaltender here, as I do not believe we will be recording the games over the weekend, unfortunately, for the Western Mass semifinals. Unsure if we will be able to do the Western Mass finals as well for boys soccer. But definitely be bringing you some state championship action here, some state tournament broadcasts here, live from Pope Prep. So we look to bring you that here later on in the season here as it comes near toward November. As Chelsea Brennan looking to make a move to the middle. Peyton Ramirez, though, picks the ball up, sends it back for Sophie Samard. Samard over for Turmel. Turmel upfield trying to find Washevitz. Washevitz on her horse, though, strips the ball away from Westfield the Westfield defender looking for the middle for Peyton Ramirez, as Kendall O'Brien had the ball pickpocketed from her. They're at the 10-yard line. So about 15 minutes here in a play. Pope Francis up 3-1 so far. Goals, Termel, Dillard, Washevitz. Termel with the goal to put it back at 1-1. Dillard with the go-ahead goal. And right now, Washevitz with the icing on the cake here. As Dillard hungry for more, trying to fire a shot there. Or is sent just wide of the net. All right, final 25 minutes now in the second half here. Pope, 2-goal lead. Those of you just tuning in live from home. Coming to this game, 6-2-7, looking for their 7th win of the season. And the first win of the Pope season, looking to start things off on a high note here at Pope Prep. As right now, Westfield, though, has not had it. We talked about it. They had the really, really good offensive zone in the opening 10 minutes here. Other than that, nothing would be going for them. And I mean, they're still looking for some sort of spark here. You had the goaltending change here at the second half. You had goaltender Olivia Morrissey, junior goaltender, head off the field. Caitlin Carrera put into the game for the Bombers here. And I think not necessarily rechanging goaltenders, but I think what we might want to start thinking about here is taking a time out here if you're Westfield. You got 23 minutes left. You're looking to turn things around here. You need at least 2 goals here. I think it all starts here. Get a good timeout going. Say, hey, we got to focus in on this. Because, I mean, Westfield has not really had any sustained pressure at all here. It's been all Pope Francis. I mean, there's nothing else that, if you're a Westfield fan here, you've got to be thinking, you're like, wow, what do we do? Where do we start from? We had it going for us in the 20 seconds. But, I mean, other than that, we have had nothing really going for us up to this point, though. So that's the unfortunate thing here, though, so far for Westfield. As MIAA Dillard takes it back now for the Cardinals. To get things going back upfield. There was Rylan Washevitz. Taken back down on the play. Washevitz as the Bombers look to get things going back upfield. Samard throwing, looking for MIAA Dillard. Dillard now with the ball. A little bit of time and space here. Trying to work it. Work it upfield. Go north. Here, Dillard, though, sets it back for her defenseman. Termel looking middle. Trying to find Washevitz again. Bombers looking to just clear out of the zone here. Looking for anything, though, that they can get. Unable to get the touch there, though. Ella Golick trying to play it back. Dillard, though, takes the ball away. Dillard, pass over for Chelsea Brennan. Brennan unable to get the pass off, though, in time. Ella Golick will pick the ball back up. Hannah Johnson skies this one out of the zone. Word is sent forward. And Chelsea Brennan picks it up now. Ball sent back into play here along the far side of the field, though. Or it'll be immediately sent back out. So unsure of an opponent yet for boys soccer, though. East Long Meadow, the winner of the East Long Meadow West Springfield game, set to take on Pope Francis, though. As that game will more than likely be here over the weekend. We will probably not be able to bring you live stream coverage, as we said before, though. But, semifinal game here. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you the Western Mass final game here, as I believe that will be set for a neutral location. In the past years, it has been set for Westfield High School, West Springfield High School. We'll have to bring you live coverage of that game. Hopefully, and possibly later next week. Trying to fire a shot in there was Hannah Johnson. Going for a turnaround shot, trying to find Brassalarchi, cutting to the middle of the net. Oh, with 20:50 remaining in the second half. Pope still 3-1 lead here. 2 goals that they lead by so far. Student section has filed in here. Out along the front gate. Here. Whiteout was the theme. Certainly showing up and showing their support. As Westfield takes it out of Caitlin Carrera's goal mound. Dillard, though, good move to the middle, trying to fire a shot off, though, sent just wide. And this will be Pope possession again, though. Official ruling in favor. Dillard and Termel looking off to the officiating staff here to make sure they got the call right. So Mila Dillard set here. Take the corner kick here. Looking for her second goal of the night. Trying to put this game out of harm's way. Termel looking for the deflection in front, though. Had the opportunity there. Unfortunately, though, just over the crossbar. So it would not go for Maeve Termel. As trying to work it back out of the Westfield zone now. Back is Meredith Collini. So Collini will take it out of the goal mound for Caitlin Carrera. And work it back up the field, though. Chelsea Brennan looking for headman Washevitz and Dillard. So they're looking to come back, get some pressure going here. Ella Golick trying to make moves along the far side of the field, though, before it's sent out by Gabby Shabelli. So they'll still, Kendall O'Brien trying to get the feet up field. Ella Golick still trying to maintain possession here. Before it's sent out of bounds. Or no, not out of bounds. It was kept in, though. I believe that was by Washevitz. Dillard and Brassalarchi in a foot race here along the close side of the field. Trying to get there. Dillard keeps the ball in play. Mila Dillard buys herself some time along the close side here. Looking for goal number 2 of the night. Looking to put Pope up 4-1. Dillard going to make a play to the middle. Pass unable to get to Washevitz. Washevitz, though, trying to regain possession here, as I believe this will go in favor of the Cardinals. So Samard will get the throw in. The ball is played over here. Thought it was could have been a handball, though, on the close side by Lily Clark. Rebound, though, picked up. Easy save made by Correa. My bad. Shevitz, though, back with the ball. 30-yard line, looking to get a lead pass for Brassalarchi. Final 17 minutes, 30 remaining in regulation here. Pope looking to kill the clock here. Already with the 3-1 lead. You don't need much more here. If you're the Cardinals, looking to just hold on to this game, get the victory, and go home. Focus on what you can do better next game, especially here, going into the Western Mass semifinals. Brassalarchi, play to the middle. Dillard trying to get something going there before the pass was picked off by Ryan Levesque. Dillard, pass off to the middle, looking for Chelsea Brennan, though. They get picked off again by Lily Clark of the Bombers. Dillard, though, trying to pick the ball back up. Finds Brassalarchi. Brassalarchi looking in middle. I gotta go on. Nearing the final 15-minute mark here of the second half. Dillard, pass over for Washevitz. Good hard shot there. Could have easily had the chance to beat Carrera. Oh, to send out of bounds, though. As subs coming back into the game, Layla Rosati heads off the field. Back on the field for the Bombers. Or rather for the Cardinals is Ali Soja. Ball sent here on the far side of the outline. Westfield. And a little bit of crunch time here. Down 2 goals. Needs something. Hannah Johnson. Good play here to break it up. Though in her own zone. Ball sent back up, though. Meredith Collini keeping it back into the zone for the Bombers. Bombers look to come back the other way, though, here. This is Lily Clark along the far side of the field looking middle for Santinello. Already with the 1 goal on the night. Ball sent into place. Santinello, far side of the field. Ella Golick. Golick looking for Santinello. Santinello looking to drive to the net. Makes a move around one defender. Not fire a low shot off Kornacki, though. Made the initial save outward. And picks up the rebound, though. For her 6th save of the night. So Termel will take it out of Kornacki's goal mound. 13:30 remaining in regulation. Pope, 2-goal lead here. Looking to go to the semifinals of the Western Mass bracket. Westfield, I mean, you need something here, especially dying moments of the game here. You need what you had in between the 30-minute and the 20-minute mark of the opening half. You need that momentum that you had. And we saw here, South Hadley last night. It was all crunch time, especially towards the end of the game. And, they really, really did make it last here. It was good pressure. And I think if they had that all game, they very well could have put up a more stronger fight against Pope Francis here. Maybe even tying it and taking it to extra innings here in overtime. As Hannah Johnson will head off the field. And Peyton Ramirez back on for the Cardinals. As Dillard along the far side of the field. Going to make a play around 3 defenders here. Ford is picked up, though. Dillard again, though. Looking to send it forward, though. Westfield will regroup with it, though. Brennan, though, for the Cardinals. 30-yard line. Looking for an inside pass for Dillard. Dillard, physical presence there. Termel, far side shot. All the way out to play it, though, is Carrera. For her 3rd save of the night. Here, only 12 minutes left remaining in regulation. Shots on goal right now in favor of the Cardinals here. 14-7, almost doubling their shots on goal. Those of you that are just tuning in here. Westfield with the early start out against Pope Francis. Madeline Santinello, 6 minutes and 14 seconds in the game, had Westfield up 1-0. About 15 minutes later, Termel with the equalizer on a penalty shot here. And we saw it was a really good individual effort here by Peyton Ramirez, or rather by Rylan Washevitz and Chelsea Brennan here. Over to break it down all the way to the zone and to get that opportunity here, that good scoring opportunity that they had here. That was really good individual effort here. As also on the Santinello goal for the Bombers, really good individual effort, blowing by the defenders, beating Kornacki's short side here. And then right now, Mila Dillard with what could be the game-winning goal here. But the goal put them up 2-1. And Washevitz right now to put the icing on the cake for the Cardinals as they lead by 2 goals so far here. Westfield, I mean, we're still looking for that extra pressure. We're looking for the extra spark that they have here. We saw it from South Hadley. I mean, we go back to that. Ladies and gentlemen, when you heard Max Graham earlier on the live stream here in the first quarter, really an odd play, especially that he said, pulling goaltender Noah Karelin. I mean, and we can't emphasize that enough. Both goaltenders going both ways. It was really, really good efforts here. As Ella Golick is set to take a shot from the 40-yard line. Shot has the air there, but Trammell sent it out. Dillard looking to boost it a little bit forward, though. Shabelli can we get it back forward. Official rule in favor of Pope Francis, though. Under 10 to play now. But, I mean, as we said, it was certainly interesting for goaltender Max Graham. 2 very well mind-like opponents with the same mindset, the aggressive nature heading out. And, I mean, I did call him out for this, and it's a really good call-out, though, especially for him. With that aggressive nature of Brassolarchi, Dillard all alone in the middle. She fires, she scores. Or at least we thought it was a goal here, though, called offsides, though. Dillard thought she had her second goal. I mean, we up in the box, we thought she had her second goal as well, though. But it was cut down, though. I believe offsides with the call. As 8:40 now remaining in regulation, though. Almost had what could have been a 4-1 lead there. Wilson back into the zone, though. Kornacki square to the shot. Make her 7th save of the night. So Pope still right now holding the 5 seed in the Division 3 bracket. And I'll maintain this spot here. Heading into the postseason. Number 5 seed is certainly something that they want. Rylan Washevitz, though, pass off to the middle. Looking for Ella Brassolarchi. Though, Brennan looking to fire the shot off, though, before it's cleared out of the zone. So, Westfield in the Division 2 power rankings here. Though, 0-12-3, not a good start, though, for them here, though. But it does come down to, though, is caliber of teams that they play throughout the season here, especially. 7:40 remaining in regulation. So Westfield's right now at the 34 seed with the 0-12-3 record here. Longmeadow at the 4 seed for girls soccer in the Division 2 power rankings with 11-2-3 the record. Here, Western Mass teams. Other than that, Minnechaug at the 22 with a 5-6-4 record. West Springfield at the 30 with an 8-6-2 record as well. But Westfield right now out of a state playoff spot here. I think your big opponents, though, certainly Longmeadow, Pope Francis, Minnechaug, East Longmeadow as well, 7-3-4. Sorry, I missed them at the 14 spot. A couple of your big names, though, here in this bracket. That very, very well, you could see some interesting things happen here come states. As Westfield still looking to get things going back upfield. Final 6:30 remaining in regulation here. 3-1 lead. Those of you just tuning in, we had goaltender Max Graham up here for the boys soccer team. As he went through we asked him a little bit of Q&A here. A little bit of his game experiences, pre-game experiences that he had here up in the box. He did a really good job. A little bit of Q&A here up at the first quarter. Here our goaltender Max Graham. I think he did a really good job for only a couple of times up here in the box. I mean, really, went through what his pregame scenario is. I mean, really, I really do like a couple of things he has in his pregame scenario. A couple of prayer heading to the chapel with a couple of teammates here. I mean, all a brotherhood here. Really a family here between the boys and girls team here at Pope Francis, as looking to continue that on here. And I mean, with a bright future certainly ahead of him, two strong seasons that he could very well could see very, very bright seasons in his favor, especially as he really has anchored this team here. We saw it was a big powerhouse team last year. Owen Trammell, O.T. Diaz, Graham, Ferreira. We saw all these big Davis, Vitavelli, all these big names here for boys soccer here. Just falling short, though, in the quarterfinals. As we said before, an opponent known all and well to among Pope Francis soccer. Norwell 3 of 3 times here in the past season. Pope Francis, the girls team, falling both times in the past 2 years to the Clippers. But Pope, what had the number 1 seed, it was one of the bigger games of the season. A 1 versus the 9 seed Norwell Clippers, and Norwell will come out on top with a 1-0 score. Down went the number 1 seed here. And I mean, that is the highest that they have held here in the postseason. Nobody's certainly expecting them to hold a spot that high in the rankings, though. As we're now on officials time here, under 5 left to play in the game. All right, so we'll break down here. We'll have the Cardinal post game coming up. We'll break down what we saw in this game and what we hope to see in the upcoming games. Unfortunately, we will probably not be broadcasting them here as they are set to take place on Saturday and Sunday nights here. But we can do our best to possibly give you a Western Mass Finals game here, as well as a state tournament, an opening round game here for the girls soccer team and possibly the boys soccer team as well. Unsure if the boys will have home field advantage, though. Maybe in a preliminary round game. As trying to fire a shot off there, sent over the net was Santinello. Back in the final 5 minutes, though, of this game so far here. 3-1, Pope leads. Trammell had the equalizer. Santinello with the go-ahead goal here for Westfield. It really did look like things were starting to turn around and that they had things going their way. Trammell, though, with the equalizer, and then Mila Dillard. In the dying 5 minutes of the game, or the opening half, she would put Pope Francis up 2-1. And right now with the game-winning goal, and we said Washevitz, icing on the cake here, the little cherry on top, as she has put them up 3-1 so far here in this game. So score will more likely hold. Pope will improve to 7-2-7 on the season. Currently at the number 5 spot in the power rankings for D3. Going to move up a couple of spots before the season comes to a close here. Westfield's season will come to an end, though, here. And the 2 versus the 7 seed was a well-fought game by both teams, certainly here. Not saying there isn't time for a late comeback. 2 quick goals we have very well seen it is possible here. It's Bressel Archie with a nifty move to the middle. Try to leave it off for Chelsea Brennan. Pope right now just looking to kill the clock here in the final minutes. Trammell looking to work it upfield before ball sent out of play. So Pope will take on the score holds the winner of the West Side East Long Meadow game here. West Side, an opponent that the girls team has not played. East Long Meadow, we could be in for a battle here, ladies and gentlemen. A 3-3 tie and a 2-2 tie. That was earlier on in the season. So certainly a big opponent for Pope Francis to face off against. And all the way on the other side of the bracket is a 2-2 and a 1-1 tie that they've had in the season versus Long Meadow High School if they make it to the finals. So a lot of talented opponents here throughout this bracket. A lot of high-caliber teams here in the Western Mass Class A bracket. Pope, though, looking for the 4-peat here. As time is slowly winding down here, though, in the dying couple of minutes left in this game. So Westfield, a season without a win is what it is looking like it'll be here. More than likely 0-13-3. Had a lot of heart out here in the opening 20 minutes. Unfortunately, not good enough, though. As Pope Francis, the 3-1 lead here, more than likely the score will hold. We do not have a set time for when the boys' Western Mass game will be this weekend for the semifinal round, or when the next girls' game will be. So unfortunately, we cannot give you those. We also will more than likely not be live streaming those games. MIAA Dillard, though, looking for one last offensive rush upfield, finds Rylan Washevitz. Washevitz upfield for Chelsea Brennan, has Dillard far side. Westfield, though, looking to just take this out of bounds. Send it along the far side for Madeline Santinello. Samard picks up the pass, sends it off for Turmel. Turmel just looking to send it upfield, kill the rest of the clock here. Taken back by Washevitz, though. Washevitz, though, holds out the corner. Still, Pope looking to just kill the clock here. Nothing stupid here. Looking to prepare themselves for the semifinal game. Time slowly winding down, though. As this will be the game. So 3-1, the final score. Cardinals win. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, the Cardinal postgame will break down what we saw and what we hope to see in the upcoming games live here on Pope Prep. Here, Don Percy, the voice of the Cardinals. It was an action-packed game, ladies and gentlemen. We had a goaltender for the boys soccer team here, starting goaltender, what very well he could see the next 2 years here. Max Graham giving you his intake here. A little bit of Q&A we had up here in the box, though. Pope Francis, though, storming at the home field. Westfield came out strong here. They had the opening goal. It was Madeline Santinello here, 16-14 into the game here. Turmel, though, had other thoughts here, as she would tie this game up at 1-1 apiece. It was good individual efforts here. Rylan Washevitz, Chelsea Brennan, sending the ball up the close side of the field, starting in their own D zone. A beautiful play to the middle. And ultimately, Turmel would get two initial shots off on the free kick, but that's what would draw the penalty kick here, and Turmel would tie the game up at 1-1 apiece. Game-winning goal, though. Mila Dillard, University of Kentucky commit here with Maeve Turmel, Stonehill College commit. Two D1 commits here on this Pope Francis team. Dillard gets the game-winning goal here as she now leads the team tied with Maeve Turmel. 9 goals on the season for both of them. And then Rylan Washevitz with the cherry on top and the icing on the cake here. 3-1, they win. Kornacki's stellar job in net, both goaltenders for the Bombers as well. Olivia Morrissey and Kaylin Carrera, good starts as well. Unfortunately, though, it would not go the way for the Bombers. So 3-1 the final score here from Pope Francis, as we are unsure if we will be able to give you a semifinal game. As this is Don Percy, be sure to tune in for possibly the Western Mass Class A final and the Class B finals for Pope Francis, the boys and girls soccer. As this is Don Percy, the voice of the Cardinals, saying so long from Springfield. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a nice night.